We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Good to be back. And we have a loaded 3-hour program coming up today, including Will Hill in 30 minutes. VSiN host, podcaster as well, contributor. He has a bet at 100-1, Alex Caruso, to win the Western Conference Finals MVP.
Ooh.
You think he's the guy, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not the only one. There are two people with votes who think he is.
Well, I have one small thing that I need to push back on when Will joins the show at that time.
Wow.
Also, Brian Geltzeiler, perfect timing with him today to talk NBA, the new tanking rules that will be applied to next year. And what does he think of Caruso and the game tonight? Matt Vasgersian on Major League Baseball. We have to spend some time on this, the NL Cy Young and tonight's card as well. We'll get into Game 6 coming up. I know this has been talked about ad nauseum today because it happened so many hours ago, but welcome back, Mitch, to the show. How's that Yannick Sinner plus 150 to win the French Open bet from 2 months ago look now? Can you believe this?
No.
It's one of the best bets I've ever made. What did he close? Minus 350 to begin the tournament?
Right.
He can't even get out of round 2, and he was up 2-0, 5-1 in the third set. Cramps up. See you later.
Unprecedented. Biggest upset in the history of tennis, you could argue. To think that you're $354 to win the tournament. And it hadn't happened since 2000 with Agassi, that the guy couldn't even get to the third round, the number one ranked player. So it's also a dream if you were up watching it, because the guy couldn't move and the issues with the heat and cramping, and he lost 18 points in a row and lost 18 of the last 20 games. So forget about the algorithm being thrown into chaos and what happens. If you're awake and watching that live, it's just how much can I get down on this? Because the guy, look how it finished. It finished 6-0, 6-1, 6-1 for Cerundolo.
Mm-hmm.
That guy has never made the third round of a major. So I think it is fair to say it's the biggest upset ever, but also it's just a gift from the gods. Like you see the 100-1 in play at FanDuel. He was minus 5,000 to win before. Assuming higher than that, 32-1 take back on the dog before.
I saw some books did not even post a number on Sinner. Others had just name the number.
Yeah,
that's what it was basically. You could not come up with enough zeros to put on it with him being the pregame or the pre-match favorite overall.
Just so somebody bet $31 to win 31,000.
Yeah,
when it was 5-1.
Others were trying to win $50 on Sinner before it started.
Yeah, that's the one I don't understand.
Laying thousands of, they thought it was free money.
Right. There's several tweets out there of the bridge jumpers.
Yep.
And that's just, I saw 150,000. You saw the same thing.
Yeah, one guy said, trust me on this. I think he's a poker player. I'm not going to be up for it, but I like making money in my sleep. It's stealing money. And then I think it was Darren Ravel who said somebody might want to wake this dude up because he was about to lose whatever it was, thousands of dollars on Sinner. Just to take back on it would have been pennies on the dollar, obviously, not even.
Yeah.
So that's how big the overall upset was today. I was not awake until the fifth set, and Luke was texting me when he woke up as well, probably about 6:15 Pacific time.
Oh, sure, we have a situation.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait a second, what? By the time I got wind of it, it's over with.
Yeah.
And I could do nothing about it, and so that ticket is absolutely stuck. And you're exactly right, Paulie. Had I been awake and actually watching the match, it probably would have been something to notice that was visible on TV. And that is, wait a second here, Sinner can't even move out there? Yeah, he might lose this match overall, and he did. I know Zach Cohen here at the network, who writes about his tennis plays and the NBA plays every day at VSiN.com. He was basically saying the guy And like the trainer, I believe, for
Yeah.
Sinner needs to be whacked because this is completely unacceptable to not have him prepared in the heat.
Well, I'm not a tennis expert.
Me neither.
But he said he woke up Wednesday night not feeling well, and then he was dizzy and fatigued when he was out there. So if you want to go after the trainer, fine. He also had that 9-minute break. He took a 9-minute break, and then still when he would go sit down, he would have ice packs on him. But then when does the in-play swing? When do you realize that you put aside he's the best player and that he's seriously compromised and he's got to be an underdog here?
That's going to have to be...
Because when you lose 18 points in a row and then 18 of 20 games, it was a free money for the dog.
Yeah, that's going to have to be done manually, where you're going to have to step in and say, wait a second here, this guy is absolutely compromised.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what happened, what was it, the game when Wemby got hurt, I think, against the Timberwolves, I want to say? Immediately, like there was a correction, like he's out of the game. We got to change the numbers, and somebody manually corrected it. I'm guessing
kicked out or the concussion game. Either one.
I think it was the concussion game.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now at the French Open, it's going to break the streak of 9 consecutive slams won by Sinner or Alcaraz, and either the Joker is going to win his 25th Grand Slam, or we're going to have a first-time men's slam champion overall. And our producer Luke loves tennis. He's got is it Jodar? Hodar, the J is silent. Got me there. Rafael Hodar. He bet him at 155 to 1 like a month and a half ago when this guy was really doing well on the circuit. And I think that correlated with when Alcaraz got hurt. He's now the 4th shot on the board overall.
My God. That's why you love sports.
Yeah.
You see just crazy stuff all the time. Doesn't make any sense. And that is just a shocker to wake up to. Unbelievable. And it hasn't happened since 2000.
I'm not going to say that I was counting my money, but I was pretty excited about that bet to have in the old account.
Yeah.
Plus 150 on Sinner. That was the day that they never even announced with Alcaraz. It's the cast on, doesn't look good. Okay, let's take that plus money. And bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you said, though, right? So now it's either Joker for the 25th slam or a first-time men's slam champion with this result now. So it's just been crazy with the upsets, whether it's softball, what's happened in the NBA playoffs, what's happened with tennis. Pagula goes out early. This guy is compromised and his issues.
The Golden Knights swept the Avalanche.
At 30 to 1. I know.
Pure domination here in the last 3 games by Carolina. The Knicks run that they're on.
Yes. And perfect timing, too, to get the New York guys in replacing us and hanging out while we were on vacation. I mean, it's unprecedented. That's the best 11-game stretch in the history of the NBA. The body bag teams like that every season. It's the playoffs. They are so good and playing so well, they made 3 teams quit. Look at the scores in the closeout games.
Yeah, pretty much.
You beat Atlanta by 60, you beat the Cavs by 37, and you ran out the Sixers. 3 teams threw in the towel.
And I tweeted this out the other night, too. I'm like, the Spurs are going to lose to the Knicks if that's the finals, right? And then I also said the Thunder are going to handle them, though, kind of easily, right? And I have now you bake in the injuries to the Thunder and how the Knicks are playing. Like, you got to, like, who had, again, to talk about anything that's going on right now in the world of sports, who had this with the Golden Knights? They look like a dead team walking against Utah.
Absolutely.
And they go out there and then they swept their way to the finals, or the final, I guess, over Colorado.
Yeah.
And they looked awesome in some of those games against Anaheim on top of it. And now Carolina, after they were, the layoff here is probably going to hurt the Knicks if you tie in what happened to Carolina. Bloodbath against Montreal in game 1, and it's been pure domination for the last 3 games.
Yeah, I will concur. I would say that'll be an issue for the Knicks game 1 because of the layoff. And it was against the Cavs. No doubt.
Oh, yeah.
They were down 22 until they found their game. Since they were down 2-1 against Atlanta, they won by 16, 29, 51, 39, 6, 14, 30, 11, 16, 13, and 37. It's a record plus 262. Regular season or playoffs. Absolute domination. Just an incredible run. You also are allowed to change your mind when presented with new information or evidence. So based on injuries and how well they're playing and the adjustments that they've made with the offense and what Brown has done,
sure.
Have you seen it with the odds? I mean, Jeff Sherman was on this show. He made OKC minus 450 if that was the matchup. Now it's down to 250, and it's a lot lower on the Spurs. So it's just been and your hockey thing too. You're right about the Golden Knights, and I couldn't believe that what they flashed on the screen during Game 4. That was the first time at home in 16 games they led at the end of the first period.
Wow.
Come on.
That's
You're right. Thoroughly outplayed by Utah, and Anaheim was competitive and had them.
it was a pretty good series, actually.
Yes.
And then fast forward to what just happened, that was not a good series, much like is going on in the East right now.
Yes.
I do think Carolina and the Golden Knights, if that's, I will assume here for 1 second, that's the cup final that we're going to get, it's pretty damn good on paper. And I have seen
it is.
I have seen the Golden Knights as high as like plus 150 in that matchup.
Mm-hmm. Well, it'd be hard to go against Carolina, even though as well as the Knights have played since Tortorella took over. I mean, this is what more needs to be said. You can't score on this team.
Well, how about unders in every game?
Yes.
I mean, Colorado couldn't get shots off for long stretches against the Golden Knights.
True. And the way Hart's playing, and a big move on him, down to 10-1. But 11-1 in the playoffs. The opponent's team total has gone under 11 times, and they're 6-0 on the road. The only thing that got them was the longest layoff since 1919.
Right. The team total thing is honestly one of the most impressive things that you're going to hear about a run.
Yes.
That's
yes.
The Knicks run is unprecedented, like you said. But for a team, and it doesn't matter what sport, to keep the opposing team under their total 11 out of the 12 games that they played, that has to be pushing for an all-time record.
Yeah.
A betting record anyway.
Yeah. You're lucky to get 20 shots on goal against them, too. That's the other thing. Look at the shots on goal.
Play Anderson under saves every single game.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolute domination.
And then
full marks to them.
Yep. To flip it like they did on its head.
Yep.
After game 1, no problem.
Yeah. And home ice means nothing.
Regular season means nothing.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. What a farce that is. I'm so frustrated. The best team never wins. You've got to do something about your sport.
It's been almost 20 years, Paul.
I know. You had the Blackhawks 1 year. Why can't the best team ever win in your sport?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
We'll get into the game 6 that we have on the board tonight. Projected NBA Final Series prices, updated Conn Smythe. Coming up on Follow the Money, it's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll hit tonight's game and also the Major League Baseball card. Some Cy Young stuff here as well, as Will Hill joins the program now, VSiN host. Also a great podcast called Shoulda Bet More, and he joined us on the Progressive Guest Line. Hey, Will, thanks for the time, pal. Let's begin with this. So you're sitting on a ticket, Alex Caruso, to win the Western Conference Finals MVP at 100-1. He's around 25-1 right now. State your case for him winning the award.
All right, I guess the case would be SGA shooting 38 for 100 from the floor, Caruso 18 of 28 from 3. And to be honest, I know we always, go to bat for our own tickets. I kind of thought this was dead after Game 4. He has the donut, only one shot attempt. These guys that are role players, they really have to, exceed expectations, and there's no margin for error when you bet at Caruso. But when you've got guys like Bontemps and McMahon, who I believe are voters, and I can't find confirmation as to who the 9 voters are, and there's only 9 of them, when you got 2 of them saying, hey, it would be Caruso, now there was the caveat of if it ended today, but it seems like those guys are voters. Neither of them said, hey, if I had a vote, it would be Caruso. So if I've got 2 of the 9, Reggie Miller has been big on Caruso all series. He's going to bat like, bigger than I would be. It's almost like he has a bet on him. Obviously, he doesn't. But if Miller has one, you get the idea. You might have 3 or 4 guys here where, they're leaning towards Caruso, and you only need 5. Do I think it's going to win? Probably not. I am prepared to get my heart broken with like a 5-4 vote in favor of SGA. And, of course, OKC has to win the series. So We'll see. I think it's live. Would I bet 25-1? That's probably the last point I would bet it. But when you have multiple voters already stating that Caruso would be their guy, I think it's live. And I'll throw in one more thing, and maybe this is narrative. Maybe this is me talking myself into it. People don't really like the Lakers. They get every player, they get every call. This would be a way to kind of troll the Lakers of, hey, you idiots gave away the Western Conference Finals MVP for nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little blowback with SGA and all the flopping and all the foul drawing. So it's possible. Again, I'm ready to be hurt. I'm ready for the pain, but kind of happy with the position I'm in and just would love to get this home. It would be nice to get one of these home.
I think he's got a great chance, no doubt about it. How about the Matt Humans thinking here? If I'm going to bet the Thunder, I wait in play. Because the Spurs opened up a 15-0 lead in Game 3, and I expect them to come out with their hair on fire tonight, and especially Wemby. If you want OKC, wait and get a better number. You concur?
Probably the right idea. Humans and I, and doing those live shows, the primetime shows, it's funny. We talk about these numbers, plus 3.5, plus 4.5, whatever the number is, and we always say, wait, you're probably going to get an 8.5 or 9.5 now. We don't have a crystal ball, so knowing when to jump in, of let me wait till it's 15-0, then to jump in. I mean, we don't know. You might think it's 6-0 or 8-0. That's the time, but I agree with the thinking. Tough game, really tough game. You got to guard against overreacting to the last thing you saw, because it seemed like a lot of people were on the Spurs in Game 5 because the Spurs looked good in Game 4, and you switch venues, maybe you get a better whistle. Spurs coming off a loss. I would ultimately, if I had to bet it, and I do have and gave out Thunder in 6 plus 450, so I'm probably just going to let that ride. Would lean towards the OKC side. I know we all want a Game 7, but it just feels like San Antonio might be out of gas. I know they looked out of gas in Game 3 and came back with a vengeance in Game 4, but you're asking a lot of Wemby. Harper and Fox don't look healthy, and these series, these games are very tricky when you have multiple key players on both sides that are banged up. Fox and Harper are playing, but they're banged up. The guys on OKC are hurt, but they're not playing, so that makes it really hard. It really kind of makes it murky, but I'll say OKC closes it out here. I wonder at one point if the spreads are going to matter in these games. It seems like all playoffs, whoever wins covers and vice versa. It hasn't been too many instances. I know Lakers, OKC, Game 4, Lakers were a 12-point dog and they lost but covered. That's very rare in these playoffs. These teams that win, cover, the point spread doesn't come into play. So who knows? Maybe we get another classic like we had in Game 1. I think, that's the side we're all kind of rooting for a good game and a good finish of the series, because the rest of the playoffs been a little bit underwhelming.
Hope so. Will Hill, our guest. Follow him on X at @NotTheWillHill. He's on the Progressive Guest line. One thing again on the Caruso ticket. You mentioned it, the one pushback that I would have. He did not score in one of the games. On top of that, one of the aforementioned voters that you guys discussed here a couple years ago said on the podcast he's going to vote for Caleb Martin to win it for the Miami Heat. I had a huge ticket on Caleb Martin. He changed his mind after Game 7 and gave it to Jimmy Butler, and it was a 5-4 vote that year. Absolute dagger to the kidney.
Tough. The awards ones hurt more, too, because you see the votes. It's so, you lose the game. Obviously, that hurts, too. But when it's an award, there's just an extra oomph to the kick to the stomach. Hopefully I get it home, but I'm prepared for the worst. I'm prepared to have my heart broken.
Is this the time to jump in now on the Yankees to win the division, as the Rays are now struggling and Cole has been awesome?
Yes, I wrote it for Fox the other day when it was $1.40. It's drifted up, and it's funny. Baseball divisions are the ones that if you have enough outs, sometimes they can be caught napping a little bit, and you can get a stale number. Like Tampa wins 3 in a row, Yankees win 3 in a row, and sometimes it doesn't get adjusted. But Yankees are better than Tampa. They've got more pitching, they've got more power. Cole back, Rodon back. Rays have been 8-1 in one-run games. I feel like the Yankees should not only win the division, but I wouldn't be surprised if they won it by some margin. This is one where I know people don't want to necessarily lay $1.80 in end of May, and you don't cash that ticket even if you win till almost October. But let's just say Memorial Day, and then for round numbers, 4th of July, which is the next kind of holiday. Would you be surprised at all if the Yankees are -$3, -$4 by 4th of July? I would not. I think the Yankees are a good bet.
Okay, so then what do you want to do with Garrett Cole then? Because he was awesome again. My God, what a start the other day against the Royals. And if you look around now, his teammate Cam Schlittler obviously is almost odds on right now to win the American League Cy Young. If you have a ticket on Schlittler to win that award, would you be adding any Garrett Cole?
I think even if you didn't have Schlittler, and obviously Schlittler gives you some more wiggle room, but I think like Cole, just of his own volition, if he had nothing, 100-1, 150-1, I don't think that's a bad number now. He can't afford to miss any more time. And, he has missed a couple months, but I do think there's enough season left, enough runway left where, what does he have to get to? 1.4, 1.5 ERA. A couple of these guys, obviously don't root for it, but a couple of these other guys continue to get hurt. And we've seen Skubal, Crochet. We've seen these guys get hurt in pitchers. Like running backs, it can happen at any moment. I think with that volatility and the number on Cole, the pedigree, the Yankee, I don't think it's impossible. So even if it's a small bet, Cole 100 to 1, 150 to 1, I actually think is worth a little bit of a nibble.
Is there anything to do in the NL Cy Young market? We're going to talk about this in the next hour of the program. I mean, this thing is just, you're throwing darts at this point, I think.
Yeah, I threw one last week on Harrison at 75 to 1 just because I thought that number made no sense when you looked at his numbers. And before he threw another pitch, he was down to 35 to 1. Again, that's like a Caruso one. Do I think it's going to get home? Probably not. I just thought the number was off. Boy, I will say this: whoever wins it will have earned it. That's Sanchez is obviously the hot guy. I wouldn't jump in on him right now. Keens is awesome. I would need 5-6 to 1 or greater. There's just so much competition. Burns is probably, I don't know, will he have the innings? I don't see a great bet there. It's just, I think the Miller ones, I'm just kind of going through this list here. I think Miller is going to have a hard time winning as a reliever.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to, I would probably, looking at the odds here, I'd probably take a shot on like Sale or something like that. But it's tough. I mean, there's just so much. I can't remember a race in any sport, in any award market that was this stacked, where you have 6 or 7 guys on any given year that would have won this, in a different year.
Totally agree. I'm absolutely blown away by how impressive this is. And it's not even June. So, my God, we got 4 months left on the betting board that we have tonight, Major League Baseball. Braves, Red Sox just started. That scoreless bottom of the second. Sale's going right now. Did you do anything with this Blue Jays-Orioles game coming up in a little bit?
Yeah, by the way, Braves $1.06 favorites right now as the Red Sox get a base runner. I don't mind that, and down to even money as we speak. I don't mind the Braves. And I did play a little over 8.5 Bassett in Corbin. A couple pitchers I think can give up some runs. Remember, when it's 8.5 in a baseball game, 4 + 4 = 9. If it's 4-4, you obviously got to get a ninth run somewhere. So I can see some runs being scored there. Weather's starting to get a little warmer here on the East Coast. That's one where wouldn't be surprised if that's a 7-5 type of game. I think both pitchers can be hit.
Very good. All right, buddy. Well, go get him with Caruso, man. I hope you cash that ticket. Thank you.
Good luck.
Appreciate you guys. I need all the help I can get. Thanks for having me.
Yep, there you go. At Not the Will Hill on X. Should Have Bet More is the podcast, and also VSiN host as well. So where are you at then right now?
Caruso's the MVP.
You think he is of the series?
Yes, I do. I agree with McMahon, and I agree with Bontemps.
Now, is that your SGA hatred coming out?
No. I respect the guy. I just hate the whistle he gets. He's a hell of a player, but he also doesn't need to do that.
He doesn't have to play like this.
No.
I can't give it to Caruso.
And it's the same way. I felt the same way about Harden. You can't initiate contact.
No, ever. No.
And then get the call. But I'm not even getting the flopping and flailing too. But I mean, it just Google. Just put it up on any Instagram, whatever.
Oh,
there's all this. There's just a 3-4 minute highlight reel of the. When did Doris Burke started it with the free throw merchant thing?
Well, now people have
really
done.
got talking. And then the first time I really paid attention to it was at what she said it, and then when Bill Simmons tweeted, "I've been watching basketball my whole life. I've never seen a whistle like this other than Jordan."
Yeah, I can't. Caruso didn't score in one of the games.
Yeah, but
I can't get over that.
Well, I think he's been a big key though.
He's been massive. Yeah,
I mean, game 3 was nuts. To be down 15 rip and then the bench goes off.
Yep.
And you blast them was incredible.
All right, win, lose next. How about this? Caesars offered an Ohtani no-hitter through 5 innings last night, and Carolina has done this again in 11 out of their 12 playoff games. Incredible. Paulie with the details next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Got a good Game 6 tonight in the NBA Western Conference Finals as the San Antonio Spurs are 3.5-point favorites against the defending NBA champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder. We go out to the Progressive guest line here. Brian Geltzeiler, always kind enough to join us for a few minutes. You can follow him on X at BGeltzNBA, does NBA radio on Sirius XM. Hey, Brian, thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm great, guys. My pleasure. How we doing?
Doing really well. We've been talking about this multiple times on the show so far today. And after Game 1, Alex Caruso was 100 to 1 to win the Western Conference Finals MVP, something that you've been able to bet on now for a handful of years. He's down to like 20-1 as we speak going into the game tonight. Do you think he's live to win that award?
I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but I don't think it's probable. And I say it, and because here's the thing. When you have a series like this, if they manage to win this series where they didn't have Jalen Williams for most of the series and didn't have A.J. Mitchell for a big chunk of the series, and they managed to win this series against a team that beat them 4 out of 5 times in the regular season, you're going to point to their main shot creator and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as to why they are winning this series. So I just think in OKC winning the series, it's unless something crazy happens and Shai plays really poorly, whether they close it out tonight or close it out on Saturday night, and Shai plays poorly and we see Caruso put up a 25 and a 30, then you could potentially see that happen. But if Shai kind of does what he's been doing here and they manage to get one of these next two to win this series, I just think it's tough to see anybody else winning the MVP because, again, they are the thing that hurts them in this series right now is they're bereft of individual shot creators. And McCain, they've developed kind of into one on the fly, and he's done a nice job in the last 2 games, but it all starts and ends with SGA. And so I kind of think it's a nice story, Caruso, and he's a heck of a good role player, but taking as far to have him go MVP, he's going to have to do something extraordinary. Do
we get game 1 Wembanyama tonight after he played so poorly and didn't talk to the media after game 5?
I don't know if we'll get game 1 Wembanyama again because we won't see him that fresh again. We'll get something closer to that than the guy we saw in game 5. And listen, I think that a big problem and I'm sure you guys are going to ask me about this at one point, but I'll just bring it up now, is the officiating. And we'll talk about the OKC side and them on offense in a minute. What's happening to Victor Wembanyama off the ball, and listen, there's supposed to be freedom of movement rules in the NBA. And we do understand that they lift a little bit in the playoffs. But the pulling and the tugging and the leaning on Wembanyama, you're seeing situations with Wembanyama where it's almost like a tight end chipping on a pass rusher before he goes out for a pattern. Everybody's taking a little shot at him as they go by him. And if I'm Mitch Johnson tonight, big talk you're hearing is you got to get him the ball closer to the basket inside.
Yeah.
You just got to get him the ball. He's not seeing the ball enough. He doesn't see it enough with Fox on the floor. And the thing is, I think I'd have him initiating some offense. I'd run some inverted pick and rolls with him initiating with Hartenstein on him because, number one, on the ball, you're going to highlight Hartenstein's physicality on him more, hence more of a chance of Hartenstein to be called for fouls. And if you can play Hartenstein off the floor, that'll be good. Number two, I actually think Wemby can beat him pretty easily in space. So to me, I would just look everything to run through him, whether it's on the perimeter, inside. He's got to be the center of the universe because that's the other thing that happens here. The younger guys also, Castle and Harper, and even when you get to Carter Bryant and Champagnie and Vassell, they lose him too quickly. If they can't get him on the first look, and OKC did a very good job in Game 5 of denying that first look in, they're defaulting into threes they don't need to take too early in the shot clock instead of really trying to find different ways to get Wembanyama the ball, and that's their single greatest matchup advantage.
Okay, so you brought it up. I hate talking about it, but we have to. It's what everyone's talking about and discussing, and you were on right before the playoffs started and said the biggest key to this playoffs is the whistle that OKC and SGA get. You've multiple people on ESPN saying it's hard to watch SGA, and they're also concerned if they go back-to-back, young people will emulate him with the flopping. Now that we've seen all this, what do you think now of what you tweeted and said before it started and what has been made in the rounds the last 48 hours?
I stand by it, guys. I really do. I stand by it. He's hitting the ground every time he takes a shot. And guys, I said this to you off the air. I'm pro flopping. I get mocked in league circles because I believe flopping's gamesmanship. And if you can get away with it, you get away with it. They've taken it to a whole different level. And I don't even totally blame OKC as much as I blame the officiating crew because Tony Brothers' crew did not do a good job the other night. They fell for every single thing they could fall for. And McCain's doing it. And Lou Dort, who's built like a linebacker, he's flopping. It gets crazy. But I do think that the light being shined on it from a media standpoint over the course of the last day and a half, I think works in San Antonio's favor, because this crew's not going to want to get mocked the way Tony Brothers' crew got mocked, and they're gonna be very aware of OKC flopping. And I think a lot of the calls we saw OKC get in Game 5, they're not going to get. The other thing was that embarrassing sequence with Mitch Johnson where Casey Wallace goaltended, and then the ball went off Holmgren's foot. He went to challenge. They didn't honor his challenge. Like, those are all ugly incidents for an officiating crew. And I think this officiating crew is going to, kind of be, and I'm not saying they're going to favor San Antonio. That's not where I'm going. Where I am going is that they're not going to reward OKC's gamesmanship to the extent that the last crew did. And I think that's a really big swing factor in a Game 6 that San Antonio has at home tonight. And I do like the Spurs a lot tonight, given the points.
Yeah, very good answer. So you're going to lay the 3.5. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Brian Geltzeiler, at BGeltzNBA on X, Sirius XM NBA Radio. So we all agree that we think, fair point, by the way, Wemby probably won't have like the Game 1 of the series because he was super fresh and he just had an all-time game, but he's going to have a good game. Other than Wemby, which Spurs player do you trust tonight, Brian?
I think tonight is a referendum on De'Aaron Fox.
Yes.
Okay? I want you guys to think about what I'm going to say to you here. They're closer to trading De'Aaron Fox than anybody thinks.
Yep.
When Harper's this good, do I need to pay this guy $60 million a year in a second apron era? Am I better off filling in with depth and wings and kind of, building around Wemby and Castle and Harper, and I don't have to pay him $60 million. I'm going to have to extend Harper and Castle pretty soon anyway. So here's my point. For Fox, like, he's got a lot of value now. I don't know if he keeps that value as he goes forward. Tonight is a night where he's got to come out at home. And listen, he's been on a bad ankle, but he's shooting a whole lot for a guy on a bad ankle. And I know he's used to being a primary. He is. Yeah. And I know he's used to being a primary option on every team he's been on. You're not the primary option on this team. This is Victor Wembanyama's world, and you are living in it. Tonight's a night where you have to be really productive and happy living in it. Make sure he sees it a lot. Make sure you're getting out in transition, finding shooters. Fox has got to go back to being more of a distributing type of point guard. And don't get me wrong, guys. He's played an enormous role in Castle and Harper's development and his ability to be on the ball and off the ball this year. Because there's three guys that don't play one guard, point guard or shooting guard. Three guys that are just guards on the floor together. Tonight is a night that De'Aaron Fox needs to be a natural point guard and keep everybody involved getting good looks. So that's, I think, the most important factor for the Spurs tonight. Because if Fox is worried about getting other people the ball tonight and getting everybody else involved, Wemby's going to get it early and often. And we've seen with Victor Wembanyama, he's a momentum guy. When he starts to feel good and he hits a couple of shots, it all starts to become easy for him. He gets energized. He's running on the floor better. It's the old Shaqism, guys, and I've said it to you before. If you want the dog to guard the house, you got to feed him. He had 6 shots in the first half of Game 5. It's not enough. And one of them, by the way, was a step back he took on his own at the end of the quarter. It's not enough. The ball's in De'Aaron Fox's hands right now more than it's in anybody's. He's got to be the one to do something about that.
Brian, in about 90 seconds here, where are you at with the Knicks giving either one of these teams a real run in the NBA Finals?
Oh, I think the Knicks can give either of these teams a massive run. Whoever comes out of the West has their hands full. I will say this. Okay, this whole thought and notion that we all had going to the playoffs, and that includes me too, guys, that somehow this whole thing with the Knicks is that it was the JV and that they're going to go against the varsity when they hit the Western Conference, that's out the window. The Knicks are about to get their second consecutive 8-day rest in the playoffs, and these two teams are beating the crap out of each other. And one of these teams is going to come in, whoever wins will come in physically compromised, okay? Whether it's not having a full-strength Jalen Williams or A.J. Mitchell, whether it's Fox playing on one leg and Harper playing with a bad groin, whatever that ends up being, it's not going to be a healthy, rested Knicks team. And the Knicks, they've done something that I didn't think they could do. They've hit this sweet spot of discipline and unselfishness. When you have a weakness on either end of the floor, the Knicks will exploit it, and they will exploit it repeatedly till you figure out to not let them exploit it anymore. And this is the crazy thing about the Knicks here, okay? They lost 2 games to get out of the East. They lost each of them by 1 point. By 1 point.
Yeah.
Okay, it's unbelievable. And I get that it was a 4 seed, a 6 seed, and a 7 seed. I get it was a relatively easy road for what you get. But in these particular situations, style points matter. The Knicks are big enough. They're deep enough. They're good enough. And boy, are they together right now. Listen, taking Jalen Brunson off the ball was a brilliant, brilliant thing to do. And running off, everybody's seeing it when you're running it through Towns at the elbow. 6 assists a game. Your center's averaging, shooting 40% from three and leading the playoffs in defensive rebounding. I love the Knicks here going into the finals.
Very good. Hey,
Excellent.
Brian, dynamite spot. Thank you. Best of luck tonight. We appreciate that.
My pleasure, boys. Appreciate you.
Brian Geltzeiler, Sirius XM NBA Radio. Paul Skeens has been a little off when facing the Cubs, especially when he's at home. We'll give you his alarming numbers coming up next.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
I always say, you always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board. Thanks for watching on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. We're talking a little Major League Baseball in the previous hour, and we'll continue here as we go out to the Progressive Guest Line as the great Matt Vasgersian joins the program now from MLB Network. Hey, Matt, thanks for the time as always. How are you?
Yeah, guys, good. A little limited schedule tonight, but there's always interesting stuff. And here we go, bring on June.
Yeah, almost there already. 2 months into the season, pretty much. We were talking NL Cy Young in the previous hour. How about the American League Cy Young, as Cam Schlittler now is like even money. He might actually be odds on at some spots. And if he does this all year long, he's going to win. But what if he doesn't do it all year long? Who else would you look at right now in the American League?
Yeah, I think the NL Cy Young is interesting for the reasons you guys pointed out. I heard you guys made some really good points because there's so many guys you could back. AL Cy Young is interesting because there's nobody to back. If you like Schlittler, sure, but understand that this is a guy that's never thrown more than 150 innings in a season. He's going to be asked to do that this year. Last year, just under 150 innings, and half of those were in the minors. 2024, 120 innings, and then in 2023, when he was in extended and rookie ball, he threw 46 innings. He's on a pace for 216 innings this year. And the best thing about Cam Schlittler is that he pitches off his fastball. The worst thing about Cam Schlittler, if you're thinking about long-term viability, as you mentioned, Mitch, is that he pitches off his fastball. He is 90% fastball between his four-seamer, his sinker, and his cutter. It's great because they're all elite, but I don't know. I feel like for a Cy Young Award kind of resume, I like a guy that can use secondary stuff a little bit, especially when things might get wonky, dead arm period, dog days of summer, interdivision games, pennant race stuff, all of which the Yankees are going to be involved with. So if you think about Schlittler and you like him, the only thing I could say is, and I love him, but the price is too short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And all the chalk is hurt, right? Scooble, elbow, midsummer. Garrett Crochet just facing hitters now. Cease is down with the hammy. Cole Reagans, he had a setback in the minors. He was on the IL on May 8th, and he's had a setback. Casey Mize yesterday against the Angels, adductor strain. He missed 3 weeks with it, and then he re-aggravated it yesterday. Hunter Brown, shoulder, all the chalk is off the board. So you go down the board a little farther. And could I interest you in a couple of Clevelanders? We talked about Gavin Williams before, right?
Yes.
He's got great numbers. Better numbers, Parker Messick.
There it is.
And here I am talking out of both sides of my mouth. Parker Messick's another guy who pitches off his fastball. He throws all three, but he also throws secondary stuff. I would say, I'm guessing, and I don't know what the number is. You probably have access to it on your screen right now. You could get Parker Messick at a juicy price to win the AL Cy Young.
Been talking about him for 2 months. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I love his mechanics. 6-1 with a 2.24. The guy's been great. Just one bad start the whole year.
Right. One clunker. What's the number on him? I mean, there's massive plus money on that guy.
Well, you know what? As I'm searching
50,
for that,
right?
Yeah, I'll get it right now. But as I'm getting that number, Matt, what do you make of Garrett Cole? He's 100-1.
Yeah, I mean, the number's never. It's never going to be more enticing than it is right now.
Sure.
2 terrific starts. I think it's really hard to start a Cy Young campaign when your first start is around Memorial Day weekend. You've missed a lot of canvas already. And that's not to say that he can't dominate. And again, with everybody else down, why not Garrett Cole? But, Max Fried, when he comes back, he'll get conversation. I still think he's the most complete pitcher in the American League, with all due respect to Garrett Crochet and Tarek Skubal. There's just so many non-stars that are live in the American League. I'd look elsewhere than a guy like Garrett Cole.
I'm looking at Messick right now at 50-1. And now, how about this guy who was awesome again today? He's down to 20-1. What kind of year can Davis Martin put together?
Yeah, Davis Martin's interesting, man. We've talked to him before, and, man, he is a likable cat. I don't know that, oh, God. I'm sitting here at my son's practice, and would you believe I just got drilled in a foul ball?
No.
Just hit my car.
Oh, no.
My car that I just drove off the doggone dealership. This is what I'm talking about. I'm cursed. Don't listen to any of my baseball talk. I'm cursed. I got a black cloud over me.
Oh, my God. It's 1,000,000-to-1 shot.
None of them.
Oh.
Some little kid that couldn't hit the broadside of a barn just hit the shot of his life.
Well,
anyway, what were we saying?
Hey, we can let you go, Matt.
Parker Messick. No, it's fine. Parker Messick at 50-1 is too short, by the way.
Okay.
That's too short.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. Where'd he get you?
Over my car.
Yeah, where'd he hit
me
it?
if I'm okay. It hit my car. It hit the front panel, front quarter, driver's side.
Well, let's hope there's no damage.
Brand new car.
You just
brand new car.
Oh my God!
I saw it coming like in slow motion. Like, this is going to hit my car. Why did I park here? What a jackass! The parking lot's empty.
You know what? As many broadcasters in baseball have always said, you see something new every single day.
Yeah.
Would you? All right, if you're going to hang on the horn here with us, feel guilty about it. But would you do anything in the National League, or is it just better to punt right now?
If somebody said you got to pick one of the many guys that could win the Cy Young in the National League, I think Ohtani is so singularly focused on winning this award. It's the only thing he doesn't have. This is the last, the holy grail for him is complete when he gets this. I've asked Dave Roberts this too, and does it feel like this is what he wants now? Because remember, he used to play on days after he would start. He's not doing that anymore. And this is to preserve the arm. His offensive numbers, while good, are not otherworldly anymore. He is so focused on winning this award as much as Christopher Sanchez has dealt. And if Christopher Sanchez breaks the record that you guys talked about, the consecutive scoreless innings record, he's going to get tons of conversation. But Shohei Ohtani's given up more than one run in a start once, and it was two.
Yep.
I mean, what he's doing is stupid. So if I had one horse to back, it would be Ohtani at that kind of low number.
Yeah. Okay. Number one, I would invoice the kid. Number two, can you get there with Mason Miller if he can put together an all-time season with only one bad performance thus far?
I'm going to say no, because there are just too many starters that are going to get the Boulder ink. If it was one of those years where there wasn't if it was in the American League, I'd say that's a live draw right now.
Yeah.
But between, Ohtani, Sanchez, Skeens, who, by the way, has hiccuped his last two starts, 10 innings, 9 runs on 15 hits. Like, this is an important one for him today.
Yep.
If he hiccups again today, that number's going to get a little vakakta, and maybe you want to back Skeens. You might get plus 350 after today.
Yep.
But I think he's going to roll over the Cubs today. He's great at night. He's great again. I think the last two have been kind of an aberration.
Can you explain the Cubs? How does this happen in a span of a month?
Well, I don't think a lot of people were sold on the pitching to begin with, and it's weird to say for a team that's won 10 in a row twice, and then they lose 10 in a row. It's the weirdest season that I could imagine. There have been weird seasons all over the place. Fernando Tatis hasn't hit a home run. The Cubs have 3 streaks of 10 or more wins and losses. It's just bizarre.
What are you looking at tonight in terms of batter versus pitcher matchups, Matt?
There are a couple things that I've heard, even on our network, on MLB Network. Everybody was loving Yordan Alvarez versus Nate Eovaldi in that Silver Boot matchup, that Astros-Rangers game. And if you look at the numbers at face value, you might be tempted, right? Yordan, 12 for 23, 3 doubles, 2 homers. He's hit 5 home runs in his last 3 games, Yordan. However, the damage against Nate Eovaldi, those 12 hits and the extra base hits, came in 2022 and 2023 when Evaldi's primary pitch was his 4-seam fastball. That's something he doesn't throw very often now. He lives with his split. So the last couple of years, Jordan is only 1 for 8 with a single against Nate Eovaldi because Eovaldi is different now. That's why when you see those head-to-heads, you got to get a time date stamp on them. I'll give you one that I do like for that same logic. Patrick Corbin has struggled against Pete Alonso. I know you guys were talking about how he struggled against the Orioles and at Camden Yards, but specifically against Pete Alonso, 19 for 52, slug over 700. If you look at the most recent sample size, Alonso is 5 for his last 9 against Corbin with 5 balls at 95 miles or better exit velocity. So he's hitting him hard and he's hitting him often. So I would say Pete Alonso on a total base prop, I like a little bit more than Jordan Alvarez tonight. And if you want to throw some of your pizza money at a guy who's just red hot, I don't love the matchup tonight, but Brian Reynolds is just out of his mind right now. 3 hits yesterday. He's 9 for his last 18. He's got Colin Ray tonight. Colin Ray's pretty tough, but Brian Reynolds over 1.5 total bases is something you could scratch at too.
Very good.
Great appearance as always.
I can't believe the timing. Go chase that kid down. Tell him what's on your mind.
I'm finally gonna look at it now. I'm getting out of my car to look at it.
Okay.
Well, we got a little seam mark, but no dent.
Okay.
We're good.
Good. That's good. Go have a chat with his parents.
My son's team's no good. No one's gonna dent anybody's car on this lineup.
Okay. What are the odds? Brutal. Brutal beat.
God.
Sick.
You're the best, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good talking to you, boys.
That's good. That's good. This is like I live on a golf course and a golf ball hit my house type of thing too. But that's like he just happens to park in that spot.
I've had both things happen, by the way.
Did you get windshield?
Living with a buddy on a golf course out here in Las Vegas. Woke up the next day, windshield shattered. Like, what the hell happened? Also, when I was in high school, I've told this story on the air before. It's been a long time. I don't like to relive my youth as much as you do.
Sure.
But hit a home run, broke a guy's window in his garage, and smoked a toilet that he had in his garage, and I broke the toilet. The guy was livid.
So what'd he do?
Oh, he was like reaching out, which kid did this? He wanted someone to pay for it.
Did you tell him to go fish?
Of course I wasn't going to do it. No, come on. We're playing.
Unbelievable.
Why would I do that? We're playing baseball. That's where we practice. I hit a home run. Guy should be celebrating that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's a great segment right there. The stuff like that.
Golf course and/or getting smoked. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait until you hear this trade idea that was kicked around in the NBA next.